everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Christy. So today I am going to show you guys how super easy it is to make 1-point mozzarella sticks. We're going to make these in the air fryer and they are so good. For these ones I actually use the string cheese, and I cut the string cheese into 3 pieces. So one piece of string cheese will make 3 mozzarella sticks. So they're fairly small, but they are 1 point. It's 1 point for all 3 programs, and even all the way up to 12 is 1 point, unless you're on green. On the green program, once you get to 7 mozzarella sticks, it then bumps it to 8 points. So if you're on green, it's only 1 point up to 6. So if you're eating more than 6, then you have to put in your tracker and see the difference. But for blue or purple program, 1 point, even when I went up and did 12. And then if your marinara or something like that has points, then make sure to account for that. But you could just use like a tomato sauce to dip them in, and that would be 0. So let me show you how easy this is and how good these are. They are so good. So what I have here is Sargento string cheese. You can use any kind of string cheese, just make sure that it is the kind that is only 1 point. Some of the string cheese is 2 points, so make sure it's the 1 point. And then cut each one into 3. So they're going to be small for each point. So cut them into 3. And then you want to take 3 bowls, and in this bowl, you're going to put 1/8 of a cup of flour, and then about 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. And then in the other bowl, you need 1 egg. And I usually put in about a teaspoon of garlic powder and mix that in with the egg. And then in this one, I'm using panko whole wheat breadcrumbs. So I've used 1/8 of a cup of those, and I've combined it with 1/4 cup of Italian style breadcrumbs. And then I also have in there, you can also add a little bit of parsley or Italian seasoning if you want. And then the next thing I do is just take some paprika, and I just put just a little, probably like 1/4 teaspoon. And I just mix that in there. So if there's any other seasonings you want, you can definitely add those yourself. So these are frozen cheese sticks. I've actually had them out of the freezer for a little bit, but I've had them in the freezer frozen. And the reason you want to freeze them first is because otherwise you're going to end up overcooking the cheese before the outside breading is done. So just freeze your cheese sticks first, and then I'm just going to roll them in the flour, and then in the egg, and finally in the breadcrumbs. And so you want to make sure it's coated real well. So you see it's got a nice coating on it. It's not overly coated, but it's not too thin. And then just set that aside and go on to your next one. So I'm going to finish coating these and I'll come back to you. Okay, so I've got them coated. So as you can see, we still have some breading and flour and egg left. So this is where you can do a couple different things. You can either use this and add some more string cheese. Now that will possibly change your points. You'll have to play around with it. What I usually do is I double coat them. So that's up to you. When I double coat these, that is actually where the points come in for, because the points are for all of this. So if you choose not to use all of the breading and all of the flour, then you're going to have the points that you're probably going to be able to probably have 2 of them for the 1 point. So you have to just kind of play around with your recipe builder if you do them any different. So I'm just kind of coating them. I'm not using the fork anymore because it's kind of hard when you double coat them. Just kind of using my hands. So just recoat them with flour. and back in the egg wash. So now that I have a few of them done, I'm gonna just put half of them in at once. And then this part you have to be careful because since they're already breaded, you don't want to lose that first layer of breading. So just kind of very easily roll them around in the egg. Okay, and then into the breadcrumb mixture. And in the meantime, you can probably hear I have my air fryer preheating in the background. I have it preheating on 400 degrees. That is entirely up to you if you want to preheat it. They say you really don't need to. If you do, you only have to preheat it for about 3 minutes. I usually always preheat mine. I figure it can't hurt, but like I said, I know you don't have to. So now just kind of stir them around with the rest of that breading. And this should use up pretty much the rest of the breading. So like I said, you could probably do another set of the cheese sticks and just play around, build this recipe into your recipe builder. And then if you decide not to double coat them and you want to have more cheese sticks, then just put that amount of cheese sticks in there and see what it does for the points. Okay. Now, the next thing that you want to do is you can either put them right in your air fryer or you can use a rack. I'm actually going to use the rack. So I'm just going to kind of layer them on here. So if your air fryer doesn't come with a rack, that is no problem. You can just put them right in the bottom of your air fryer. I would say to spray it with olive oil spray first. I did put a little bit of a light spray of olive oil spray on this. Alright, and now I'm going to carry it over to my air fryer. And I'm going to carefully put that down in there. And now I am going to spray the tops with olive oil spray. Just a light coating of olive oil spray on the top. And I'm going to put them in there for, they usually take about 8 minutes. But you want to double check them because it just depends how much the cheese has unthawed. The worst thing you want is for that cheese to soak out, or for that cheese to ooze out of them. So usually after about 5 minutes, I will open it and double check them. So I'll come back to you in about 5 minutes. Okay guys, so like I said, you have to definitely watch them. So these have only been in here 5 minutes and they are already done. So it just depends. You just have to definitely keep an eye on them. So as you can see, we've got some of the cheese is oozing out of some of them. So that's what we don't want. We want to try to keep the cheese in there. It may be too, if you let them sit too long and they unthaw, then that can do it too. But they're still going to be good. Alright, there they are. And you can just put any kind of marinara sauce on it. Make sure you add extra points for the marinara. Look at that. So good. 1 point mozzarella sticks. So there you have it. Alright guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Put any comments down below. Let me know if you're going to try and make these. Let me know if you have made these before or if you make them a different way. Let me know in the comments. And if you're new to my channel, I hope that you will consider subscribing. Make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you're notified anytime I upload new content. I'll talk to you guys in my next video. I'm Christy and I am planning us healthy.